Hello everybody, today's Monday, Schoolgirl Sampler Day. It's winding down, but I'm still excited. I'm really excited about next week's blocks. They're going to be fun. This week's blocks were, there were a few small pieces, but don't let that worry you because it's nothing we haven't done before. And the fabric choices are going to be kind of important for this one. So let's look at the blocks. If Peter will scan over to the blocks. So we have this block here. Let's see what they're called. Let me get my book out. The framed hourglass. This is called the framed hourglass. And in the book, these two portions of the hourglass are the focus. So you want something that's dark or something that's really pizzazzy about these two. Pizzazzy, is that a word? I don't know. And then Cappy chose to put her signature flamingos in her two sides of her hourglass. And I just chose a background, sort of like trying to reproduce what the book, if I'll put that over there so Peter can take a picture of the one that's in the book. I thought it was interesting that she mixed purple and green. I love purple and green together, and I thought that was really, really fun. I hadn't used this background before. I think this background... No, I don't think it is, but I was thinking it was chocolate-covered cherries.
I thought it was too.
Do you think it is?
I think it is because it has that star on there.
Okay, so...
It was my favorite background in the line.
Okay, it might be chocolate-covered cherries, and I had not used that before, and I wanted to kind of focus on those stars, and I thought that was really fun. I didn't really fussy cut them, except for when I fussy cut the length of the width of the fabric, the width of the piece.
Your stars are all going in the right direction.
Well, they're all going out that way,
yeah.
You know?
Like numbers on a clock.
Yeah. And then, so I had this star fabric with this star fabric, so I thought that kind of complemented. And then this had that little black branch in it, so it carried the black there and carried the black there. So I'm really pleased with how all those fabrics played well together. And if we could go back to Cappy's Cappy's block, I love the use of her stripe. Isn't that really fun? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And of course, she had to do some thinking when she cut that so that they would all go out like mine have, all gone around like a clock. And then on the next one, it's called 4-Patch in a Square. And you know how I hate square in a square, but... You
do?
Yeah, I hate square in a square. I despise it. But we're going to use our little corner trimmer triangle ruler from Marty Michelle on this. And we had a viewer last week ask, why don't I cut off my corn kernels with this? And
I saw that.
Yeah, and it's a whole different process, and you're going to see that today, why we use this. This is a 2-cut system, and this is to allow the triangle to land in the middle of a square. So really, when we're cutting off the corn kernels, we're just cutting out excess fabric. We could certainly leave them in, but that just adds bulk to the quilt. So that's why I choose to cut them off.
And now that I have this tool sitting in front of me, it has 2 angles on it. And you only need to make one clean cut on the corn kernel.
Right, on the corn kernel, you're just simply removing fabric because it's bulky. This, you're actually... cutting the fabric for a certain size. So that was a good question, though. I really thought that was a very good question. I love it when the viewers, express, what they need, and if we can answer it, we certainly will. We're always here to. If we don't know the answer, we'll certainly try and find it out for you.
Hey, Dawn.
Yes.
If one person's thinking it, then that means there's 10 others that are thinking it too, so you might as well ask.
Right. It's like you see one mouse, you see 100. I mean, there's 100 you don't see. Okay.
You do?
Well, that's what
Oh,
that's what
boy.
the exterminator says.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So the first thing I want to do so that I'm completely ready, I already did it on the first round of triangles, but here are my triangles for my square and a square. And I just stacked all 4 of them. There's 4 under there, and I just stacked all 4 of them together. You really do need a good sharp rotary cutter. Excuse me, rotary cutter blade for this process. And what I'm doing is, I don't know if Peter can get a good shot of that, but I'm just lining the edges of that template right with the edge of the fabric.
And your template's overlapping. Is that what you want?
This, I don't care about this end over here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I only care about the end I'm going to cut off.
So you have it scooted in until
I have it scooted
perfect.
so that this angle right here meets up. Like if I slid it back this way.
There we go. Yeah.
See how it doesn't line up? It has to line up. This edge and this edge have to line right up.
There's the money cut right there.
Right there.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do, and it's nice to have a little mat that you can turn around because you're going to make 2 different angled cuts. You're going to make this straight cut, which is like the cut we kind of make when we do our corn kernels. And then I see how I just turned my little mat here, and I'm just going to slightly cut off. And look, it's just hardly anything, and you would think, well, that just doesn't make hardly any difference. Why
That's a
would
mouse
you?
whisker.
Yeah, but it does make a big difference, and I'm going to show you how here in a minute. And so then I just turn to the other corner, and I do the same thing. I'm going to mount my corner trimmer tool right up to the edge and make those 2 cuts. And you can do it on your turntable mat if you have one. But I had one, mine's at home. So I just use this little one for such a small piece. It works out really good. All right, so that's my corner trimmer. And I have a special home that I keep this in so that I don't lose it, okay? So I always put it back where I store it so I know where it is. So I'll have to do that when the video ends. Okay, so I have my blocks laid out. I've gone ahead and sewn my 4 patch. I mean, it's a simple 4 patch. And I alternated the background colors. These are my backgrounds.
Those are pretty.
See how she used her backgrounds?
Those are real pretty.
For her 4 patch.
And are they low key, would you say? Not a lot of contrast?
Right,
On this
not too much.
background?
Right. Now she used 4 different ones and I used 2 because I only have 2 backgrounds in this whole quilt.
I like how soft it looks.
Yeah, it's very nice. I love this soft gray color. So I'm going to start, and here my first round, I've already notched off my edges. So this is why I do it.
Why do you do it, Ethel?
So that when I lay it on the piece, see how it lands right in the middle? And I'm going to pin that because I do not want that one seam bunching up on me.
You know, you've made it.
That.
I think a viewer is actually counting how many weeks you were going without pinning.
Oh, really?
So you just broke the...
I just broke the
string.
the chain of
Yep.
no pinning. Okay. Well, I want that to stay in the middle. That's why.
I'm not mad at you.
Okay.
It all lines up perfect.
Yeah.
Gotta pin it.
Now, so you would think because I'm working with triangles here that I'd go ahead and notch these off too. Well, there's really no need because this is going to lay on top of this, and this is going to lay on top of this, and I'm just going to sew a straight line. So no need. I'm not trying to fit a triangle onto a square. I'm just sewing these triangles on the short side. And of course, I'm going to turn it so that I'm always putting this through the machine, not this tip down here, because I don't want those to slide around
You're putting
and
putting in the 90 and not the 45.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I'm guessing.
I'm glad
I'm
that you
guessing.
know these things.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
90 degree versus the 45.
Okay. And now, this square in a square is going to take more time because you've got to put 4 pieces on and then another row of 4 pieces on. So I'm going to get that on there. Get that right up to the edge, pin it. This is not moving around. Let's go ahead and sew that on. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great weekend. We started putting our Christmas lights up on the outside, so that was kind of fun. We're doing red and white this year. Every other bulb red, every other bulb white. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, my little corn kernel. And I'm going to get this out of my machine, and I'm going to press them both, all of them here at once. And I'm going to be gingerly with my pressing because this is bias that I'm working with here on these triangles. So I don't want those to get askew.
But no, but for them, and then at that point,
it rained all day yesterday here, kind of gloomy, but we made it through. But it was warm on Saturday. Uh-oh, now look what I did. See, when I picked that one up, I turned it around evidently. Because now look what I have.
Half square triangle.
I have a half square triangle. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, well, before I do that, I'm going to sew it. Because that'll help stabilize it. Okay, so I'm going to sew that again.
So, Dawn, I saw the most beautiful lighted decoration the other day.
What was it?
Okay, so you know those glass bricks?
Yes.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, it's a square glass. It's kind of hollow
Yes,
on the inside.
yes, it's hollow. So you know what somebody did?
What?
They drilled a hole in the bottom and stuck a light in it, and
how pretty!
The way the light reflects out the glass brick.
So
it is a game changer, you guys.
Evidently, you haven't been in the
That's what I'm
bathroom.
talking about.
Oh, is that the one you're talking about in the bathroom?
Yeah, they had it out. They had it out.
Oh, did they?
And it was on the, where we usually have the night light. And I mean, I saw it for the first time, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they are very pretty. When you do that.
I guess all you do is just drill a hole in the bottom.
And what if you built a whole house like that? First of all, your battery bill would be crazy.
Unless it's solar.
Yeah, well, there you go. They say don't throw a rock at a brick. A brick at a glass house. So, anyway, yeah, they are very pretty. So now I'm going to cut this edge off.
So have you ever made one?
I have not. Not that I'm opposed to it, but I just never have. I don't know why. I've seen them. They're beautiful. Do you like the white lights better than the colored lights? Or do you like, now they've got lights that change, like have 50 different settings on them. And you could go blind just watching them.
Oh yeah, they have those LEDs now that are so bright.
They do everything. They blink. I think they maybe wash the dishes. I don't know. They just do everything. It's crazy. Crazy, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Okay, see how that worked out? So you got to pay attention when you're picking those up that you're doing it the right side. Now, I've already cut that. I hope that doesn't mess me up, but I don't think it will because my 1/4 inch is still got to be in there. So I'm going to put these together, bend that back, making sure that my seam does match. Of course, I'm going to pin. And yeah, see, I'll still have that won't interfere with my 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this in. Isn't it fun when we make mistakes together so that we can learn from each other? I miss not sewing with my friends. You know, it is lonely to sew in your sewing room all by yourself. That's why I guess I have to have music on all the time, because I can't stand it. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure that this is what it's supposed to be. And how do I know what it's supposed to be? Well, it has to measure the same measurement as this, because I'm going to sew this piece onto this. So that'll give me my clue. So, and I know what that clue is. And again, because it's an hourglass block, I'm going to make sure that seam is right down the middle. And yeah, I do have to shave a little bit off, so I'm glad I did this, or my block would have come out too big. So this is an important step, to square this up. Don't just assume that it is the right size. Now I already squared up my 4-patch. It didn't really need squared up. It was already the right size. So, but I did measure it to make sure, because you just don't want to assume. You get into trouble when you do that. So now I can press this open. And I do like making an hourglass block. You can make them big, little. They're very sweet. There's lots of good uses for an hourglass block. So see how that comes together? I'm going to go ahead and press this square and a square block up. Press it open. On both ends. Okay, so now that's what that looks like, okay? And now I'm going to sew the other 2 sides on. So let's get that done. Always lock your rotary cutter in place so that you don't cut yourself. I'm very bad about that. Tammy gets on me all the time. Now see, look. This is why you make that second cut, because here's that cut that just lines right up with those that you just sewed on. So the first cut lines up the first one, the first row, and the other cut will line up the second row. And I didn't pin that, and look what happened. This is why I pin.
What happened? It looks good. Everything matches.
Does it look really good?
I mean,
see how that is flapped?
Fine.
That's sewn down? Oh, Peter says it's fine. Well, it's not fine for me. I'm taking it out.
It's fine.
That's why I pin, because I don't want that to happen.
It's fine, Dawn.
Peter says it's fine.
It all gets sewn together anyway.
And you know what?
Like, it all gets put together like lasagna.
It's fine for Peter's block, but not for my block. So if it's fine with you, you just keep on sewing. But as for me and my house, we will use the seam ripper. Okay. Then we'll pin. And then we'll sew this back together. Okay, so right like that. Take your pin out, sew it over a little bit, and then cut. Let's see how that's going to lay much better. Whew. Oh, it feels so good. Last night, it was Sunday, you know, so you know I cross-stitch on Sunday, and I was fighting with myself because I'd made a little mistake. Put 5 stitches where 4 stitches were supposed to go.
Border?
No, it wasn't in a border. It was in a little motif. And nobody else would have noticed it. This piece is so busy that nobody, and I mean nobody else would have noticed it. And I kept saying to myself, nobody's going to notice it. Nobody's going to notice it. But could I leave it? No, I could not.
You sure could.
I had to go back, take it all out. Ugh.
Okay, so I have to tell you, you know Country Garden out there? Cross stitch?
Country Garden cross stitch. No, not really.
The one that's hanging out in the cross stitch. Or Christmas garden.
Christmas garden. I did that one, yes.
Okay. So I may have found where you were one stitch off.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, thanks for looking so close, Peter.
Well, it just, something caught my eye. I was
Really?
looking at it, because I like that cross stitch, so I sit back and admire it.
Yeah.
Well, I was sitting back, because I was working Saturday or one other day last week, and I was standing back admiring it. I think it was 2 Saturdays ago. I was standing back admiring it, and I was like, well, wait a minute.
It's not symmetrical, huh?
It's in the border.
Did you look and see if the pattern was like that?
I did.
And it's not?
It's in the border. I was like...
You know what? Don't show it to me because I love that piece.
I love that piece. That is
Yeah.
my favorite piece. It's
don't
so
show that.
beautiful.
Don't show it to me.
But I was like, well, I know that Dawn didn't see it and doesn't know because
Right, she would have been taking it out.
It wouldn't have been in there.
Right, she would have been taking it out. Okay, now I'm going to fit these on. So that I'm going to pin that first because you know how I feel about that flapping over. I don't want that to flap over. Okay, now there's a lot of bells going on today. What was that all about? Did you hear that bell
I think
just
it was
now?
a notification on your iPad.
Oh.
You want me to go open it and see what it was?
Oh my gosh, I went through getting a new iPad and a new phone
Oh shoot, Dawn.
and a watch this week.
Oh,
so do you
shoot.
know what I've been doing? Passwords all for 3 days, seems like. Re-entering your password. Re-entering your password.
I thought that was the benefit of having a whatever
In
it's
the
called.
cloud?
Yeah.
Well, they will transfer over all your data, but they don't put in your passwords.
So
They-
password's
the-
device specific?
The cloud does not record your passwords. No, they do not keep your passwords.
So you got all new iPad, iWatch,
Yeah,
iPhone.
well, it all started when my iPad quit working. It quit keeping its charge.
Yes.
And it was under warranty. So they sent me a new one. Well, what they sent me was like a new one from the dark ages. They sent me a really old one. It was new, but it was an old model. It wasn't the same model. It was slower. It didn't have as
Oh.
much memory.
Oh my gosh.
It was smaller in size.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. So I go back in there and I tell the guy, and he's thinking I'm full of, oh, and I forgot to pin. I hope that didn't bounce up. He's thinking I'm full of myself because, and he's rolling his eyes at me, and he's not believing a word I'm saying.
Oh.
And so I said, I'm not that techie, but it doesn't fit in my case. So that was my first clue that it wasn't the same iPad. And then when I was using it, it kept kicking me out. Well, it was so old, it still needed what is that little drive that you put in them? A SIM card. It still needed a SIM card. Well, my new one didn't. My other one that I traded in didn't have a SIM card because it was new.
Well, your new one comes with all kinds of bells.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, so they were having a Black Friday sale, and it was time for my phone to be upgraded. Because I still had like a 7 or an 8. I can't remember. Now they're up to 14. So it was time for me to get a new phone. And I was looking at new phones. And he says, well, if you come back Friday. So after I got off work Friday, went back in. I got my phone. I got with my phone. They replaced my iPad for free, of course, because of all the trouble I had gone through. And then they gave me a watch and a new pair of earbuds. I made out like a bandit. I'm
Yeah, you
telling
did.
So anyway, but anytime you change to new stuff, it's like getting a new computer at home. You got to do all the jump through the hoop things that they want you to do. And half the time, I'm not quite sure which password they want because it'll come up Yahoo for AT&T. Well, which one do you put in? Do you put in your Yahoo or do you put in your AT&T or do you just go in a corner and curl up in the fetal position and cry? Is that what you do? Because that's what I do. I'm just not.
So somebody
technology-
spent hours and hours and hours getting all these devices set
It took
up.
me 2 hours just to
That's it?
purchase everything.
Oh,
just to purchase
just to
everything.
purchase.
Just to take stuff home, and I still don't have my phone. It's coming today
Oh, jeez.
because it comes in the mail. They were sold out at the store. So, so my phone's coming today. But anyway, so it's just been a crazy week. Friday was a crazy day. It was a fun day here at work. Man, oh man, we had a big Black Friday day sale. The place was hopping. Always in Stitches had lunch for us. Of course, it wasn't any different for me because I'm back here in the back. So, but the girls that had to work out front, or got to work out front, I should say, they were hopping. And having a good time. Everybody was very nice and patient. So we're thankful for that. And then I had to go to the grocery on Saturday. Ugh,
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not the best time to go. And of course, you wait in line and you wait in line and you wait in line. And the lady says, "Oh, I'm so sorry you had to wait." I said, "'Tis the season." If you are not willing to wait, don't go out. That's my advice. That's my big tip for today. Is if you're not willing to stand there and wait, just don't go out, because it's a jungle out there. You just kind of just have to wait your turn and be patient, and 'tis the season for waiting.
Happy Cyber Monday, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Is there anything online that you're waiting to get for Cyber Monday?
No, I checked everything out. I didn't see anything that grabbed me.
You didn't? I bought my husband a couple Christmas presents.
Well, good for you. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, he's getting a Fitbit and what do you call those men's travel cases? I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So, to keep his shaving and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, he needed a new one, so I got him one of those. So, yeah, I felt guilty getting my iWatch, so I got him a Fitbit. So he'll be happy with that. He's into all that health stuff. I just like my watch because it's got a Mickey Mouse on it. Here, look.
Oh my gosh.
See Mickey? He's
Oh my
telling
gosh.
the time. And he...
11:20.
Ah.
It's 11:20.
Oh
cute?
man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Pretty fun. You got to make your own joy.
I think you can get on the navigation for when you want to drive somewhere.
Yeah.
I think there's an app and it has different characters. Like I knew somebody that had Cookie
Yeah.
Monster one time. They gave
Yeah,
them
the different
directions.
voices.
Yeah, I think
oh,
you could
yeah,
have
you
Mickey
can.
Mouse
My
tell you how to
girlfriend
get
has
there.
some Irish fella directing her around. And he sounds pretty cute. I don't know what he looks like, but he sounds cute. So anyway, yeah, you can get all kinds of things. to talk
Okay,
back
his
to
little
ya.
foot's tapping. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, his foot's a tapping with the time. Tapping with the time. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I need to steam it when I get home. I can't do much with this little baby iron. It is a steam iron, but I don't have water in it. But when I get home, I'll steam these. And they'll lay real good and flat.
Oh, Dawn.
What?
Did I ever get back to you on why I found out it's important not to keep water in the iron?
Why?
Well, I took the iron to one of our classes,
Yeah.
and it had water in it, because, I leave water in there. And, so I put it in my tote bag.
Oh, yeah. it leaks
But I
all over the
wasn't
place.
thinking like it had, for some reason I thought, oh, I'm going to set it down flat so it won't leak. Well,
Yeah.
that was the opposite way I needed to do it.
Right.
And the water,
Right, just
it
poured.
just gushed out in my project bag.
Oh, man. Yeah, don't leave water in your irons.
I
That's
found
just
out,
not
I
a good
found out,
idea.
I found out what you meant now when you said 2 years ago,
Yeah.
don't be leaving water
Yeah,
in your iron.
Why don't you listen to
3
what I
years.
say, Peter? You just film these and just let
So-
it go in one ear and out the other.
Okay, so then I fill it back up, I get it plugged in, I get it heated up, I'm ready for class.
There's
And
no
do you
water.
know what came out of that nasty old thing?
What, rust?
Oh, calcium.
Oh, my gosh.
So because it leaked, I don't know, when I went to go plug it back in, then something happened and everything got dislodged. And,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, look at that. Now there they are. Isn't that pretty? I kind of went with the same theme as I did here, the pink and the brown. I love pink and brown together.
Can't
I
go
just
wrong.
think that's just a classic for me.
Can't go wrong with the pink.
And then I loved this. There's a little bit of brown in this print, kind of a dark reddish, but I liked it with the brown. And I liked using this brown because I'd not used this particular brown before, so I wanted to make sure I had something to carry it through with. So
Yummy.
yeah, this month, I think I like my Kim Deal ones better than I like my Peter ones. But when I get these with the other ones, they're just going to be beautiful.
So why would you like the Kim Deal better?
I don't know. I think I have more contrast. See how this is just more, I don't know, there's more interest in this one than there is in this one. And I just love how these stars all play together. I don't know. It's just a fabric choice this month. Some months I like my Peter ones better. But, you know, I love them all. It's not that I don't love both of them. I think these are just a little bit, I don't know, they're just speaking to me a little bit more today. So, yeah, what
The
do you
stars
think?
are fun. I do like, and I didn't notice it. I just noticed the colors, but
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
I
notice
love
that
how
you
this-
used the
yeah.
stars, which I thought that was fun.
Yeah, and repeated the black. So
To
I
pull
love
out
that.
the coral,
Right.
or whatever that is.
Right.
Tree
Yeah, so.
or wreath.
All right. So, man, one more week down. We only have 3 more weeks to go. 3 more weeks. And this journey will be over. I don't know what we're going to do next. I'm going to take a break for a while. So,
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I think we need a break.
Yeah, let everybody get caught up. We've been nonstop. We did My Favorite Colors Moda.
Yep.
Then we did Ribbon Runs Through It. Then we did Schoolgirl Sampler. And now we're finishing up on Emma. It doesn't finish till next year. But a lot of people did all 4.
And then you got letters.
And, well, yeah, today's our last day for Letters to Santa.
And then you got the punch needle, punch along.
Oh, yeah, I've been punching too. So, yeah. So it's been quite a journey this year.
Whirlwind.
We're really pumping them out. I know Cappy's doing videos and Lanine's doing videos. And so, you know, it's video central around here. Peter just keeps hopping from one person to the next and videoing them. So I hope you guys watched the What's New for this last time, because at the very end we all told what we were thankful for, and that was really nice. And you kind of get to meet all the staff. So that was fun.
All the staff that was there that day.
Yeah.
Because
some
there
of them
were
weren't.
6 that weren't there.
Okay.
I have
okay.
6 absentees.
6 absentee ballots. So I hope they don't have, what was that when they punched the little thing, and it didn't punch all the way through? What was that called?
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway,
remember
that debacle?
Yeah,
that was a big debacle, wasn't it? So anyway, happy stitching, everybody. Oh, and if you get a chance to go, was it on the Facebook page or the Insiders group where Rosemary took all of her scraps from Ribbon Runs Through It and made a quilt out of Doug Lico's, one of his Scraptastic books. It is a stunner. I mean, it is so beautiful. I was so inspired by it. It made me feel so cozy, and I just would love to see it in person someday. But it is really, truly, and it was all out of scraps.
Wow.
And it was gorgeous, just gorgeous.
Wow.
So if you get a chance to go over to the Insiders group, check out Rosemary's scraps from her Ribbon Runs Through It quilt.
Wow.
It's fantastic. You won't be disappointed. So I'll see you next week. Bye.